Hi everybody. This is gonna be my transformation story. I'm gonna talk a lot about my past, why I am the person that I am today, the things that happened to me, basically why I wanted to turn my life around, change my body. I'm just gonna try and get into like full detail. What? I'm making a YouTube video, why? What? Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it. This is just gonna be like a conversation with you guys, just to talk and sit down and for you guys to get to know me more. The Q&A, you know, it doesn't really tell you everything. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I grew up in, I'm just gonna tell you like all of it. I grew up in Glen Ellen. So I moved to Minooka. That's where I live now. I moved to Minooka when I believe it was the middle of first grade. So I went to Glen Ellen first grade, and then the rest of the year I came to Minooka. And I went to Minooka from first grade, half of first grade, to 6th grade. And I remember I was always the type of person to not have that many friends. I kind of like kept to myself or had like a small little group or like one person that I stuck with. And I had this one friend, I don't really want to say her name. You know what, I'm just gonna say her name. Her name was Kayla, and she was my best friend. Like, we met, I believe we went to like a piano class in the neighborhood, and we met there and we just instantly clicked, best friends, like with each other 24/7. And I forgot, maybe this was, I think it was like 4th grade summer year going on to 5th. It was 5th and 6th grade. This is like a huge part of who I am today. I was bullied a lot. If you know me from Minooka, if we went to, you know, the same school, you would know I got bullied by a lot of people every day, all the time. It was bad. Like, it was really bad. I didn't even want to go to school sometimes, you know. I feel like that's where my anxiety came from. But I remember like a lot of people said that I smelled. Like, I remember I went up to the board and like I used like a marker to draw on the board, and everyone would be like, oh no, like, oh, I don't want to use that marker. Or like a teacher would like have an assigned seat next to me, and people would be like, oh no, like, no, ew, like, I don't want to sit next to Madison. You know, and they would say it out loud and the teachers wouldn't say anything. Or like one time I got up from a seat and somebody like took a Clorox wipe and like made it like on purpose, that they were trying to wipe it off. And it was just stuff like that that really stuck with me. And there's so much more, but I don't really want to get into like full detail about that. So yeah, it was bad. And later I found out that the reason for a lot of this stuff was because my so-called best friend Kayla, she helped me make a Facebook account or whatever. She knew my password, you know, we were best friends. She actually went on my Facebook account and commented a bunch of like mean stuff to people, like, oh, you're fat, and like calling them names and stuff. And to a 5th and 6th grader, like, oh my god, like, you're calling me that, you know, like, it was, you know, offensive. And, you know, whatever, she, like, went on my Facebook under my name and commented on people's stuff and just said, like, a bunch of shit about them, like, commented, like, rude things, and these people, like, already were bullying me, so they hated me even more. They talked about me. I couldn't even walk in the lunchroom without, like, getting, like, stared at and talked about and said shit about me. And you know, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good. I was always friends with dudes. Like, I don't know. I just always like build better relationships and get along with guys better. It's always been like that, even when I was younger. Like, I just always, like, I had one girl best friend and then had like a couple of guy friends, you know. So past 5th and 6th grade. 7th grade, I left Manuka, I moved to Homer Glen, and I was homeschooled for 7th grade. And due to the fact that I was bullied so much about how I smelled and what I looked like, I was so insecure. Like, I hated myself, hated the way I looked. It was just a really dark, deep spot. My parents, they owned their businesses, their daycare centers, and they were never home. I had to literally raise my sister, wake her up every day, give her breakfast, you know, make her lunch, bring her to school, pick her up. My parents sometimes came home at 8, 9 o'clock. You know, by that time I was already, like, you know, upstairs in bed. You know, I had to take care of both of us. I was just home all the time alone. Like, my dad would leave every day around like 12, and I was homeschooled, like, on a computer program, and I literally didn't do any of the work. I cheated on, like, all of it. I really didn't get a good education 7th grade. And because of the fact I was bullied, I developed OCD that I still struggle with today. Because in my mind, you know, when you're growing up and you're exposed to stuff like that, you develop things, and I developed OCD. I still have to wash my hands all the time, but back then it was more severe. I literally had to wipe down my body all the time. My skin couldn't touch anything unless it was clothes, and the clothes had to be washed. I could only wear things one time. I would, like, wash my hands for a certain amount of time. Like, I would count it, and then I would use like 4 pumps of soap each time. Like, it was numbers. It was bad. Like, and then it started to be like everything. Like let's say somebody talks to me and I'm standing up. They're like, "Oh, Madison, I turn this way." I can't turn back around the other way. I have to go this way because it messed with my mind. I would do things over and over and over again until, you know, it felt right. That's all. Until it felt right, until I felt okay. And if I didn't, like, you can't really fight it. It would just repeat in your mind. It takes over your mind. It feels like there's something controlling your mind. OCD is a complex thing, and I still struggle with it today. You know, I can't touch my phone. No grease, you know, you develop things. And yeah, so that's where that came from. So there's another huge thing that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but that's a whole nother story. 8th grade. 8th grade, I went to a Christian private school, whatever. That was fine, you know. I didn't really like it. I kind of, like, hated going every day, but whatever. I never liked the fact. I always felt like Christian people are very judgmental. Very, 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 very judgmental, and I just don't like that, you know. I don't like to be controlled, or like, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, it was just then, you know. I don't really have any opinion on it now, you know. I don't really want to talk about my religion, but so let's get into freshman year. So I went to Lockport freshman year. If you know me, probably do. A lot of people message me like, "Didn't you go to Lockport?" Yes, I went to Lockport freshman year. So since, you know, 8th grade, I went to a private school. 7th grade, I was in Homer Glen, but I was homeschooled. I didn't know anybody. Didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything, you know, didn't socialize, stayed home, you know, went to the school, came back. Didn't know anybody in Homer Glen. So I went to freshman year not knowing anybody, not having any friends. You know, that was that. I was obviously so anxious to go. I remember my first day exactly. But long story short, freshman year formed the person that I am today, and I don't regret anything. Well, I mean, I don't regret anything, because the person that I was back then formed who I am today. The stuff that you go through when you're younger, the stuff, you know, that, you know, your past, don't regret it, because it formed who you are today. You know, and you could make it form who you are today. If you went through something horrible, you know, you could always learn from everything. That's That's my philosophy. You learn from everything. That's how you grow, you prosper, you learn, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So freshman year, you know, basically I wanted to make friends. I didn't care about the work, you know, I was more focused on making friends and, you know, just trying to, like, get out there, you know, like, I wanted to be well known. So I posted a lot of prerogative pictures, posted a lot of, you know, I was a little hoe, if you want to say. But yeah. So basically, I've always been a nice person. Always. I remember freshman year, you know, boyfriends telling me, wow, like, you always look for the good in everyone. You always look for the good in everything. I remember a boyfriend telling me that. I just remember being bullied. I was bullied freshman year for what, you know, what I posted and what I said, and I didn't really care. I was well known. I don't want to say popular. I was super well known. Everybody. I was famous online. 10K on Insta. I don't even know, 200,000 on Ask FM. You know, I was well known, and I wanted it. I was failing. I failed all my classes. So yeah. So that was freshman year. And just because of, I always said, don't judge anybody for what they do. You know, people judge me, and I'm like, just mind your own business, you know. You do you and I do me, you know. I always had that mindset just because of everything that I've gone through freshman year. I treat people how I want to be treated, and I heavily believe in karma. So, you know, I felt truly what it feels like to be judged and talked about and ridiculed for doing what I want to do. If I want to post a fucking vagina picture, never did. If I want to post a fucking vagina picture, then, you know, I would have. You know, this was my mind back then. It's still my mind today, but obviously I'm not gonna do that. But that's always been my mindset. If somebody posts or does anything, if somebody wants to be a fucking, like, whatever they want to be, you know, do them. Like, I will not judge you. I don't judge anybody. I try not to have any negative thoughts towards anything. I try to give to the world what I want the world to give back to me. You know, I'm very honest, very forgiving, always been forgiving. It's just who I am. It's who I wanted to be, and it's just everything that has, you know, taken place in my past has made me into the person that I am today. And, you know, that might be the same for you. You know, you think, oh, how about turning your past into a good thing? How about turning anything into a good thing? If you're in a horrible situation, if you have tons of bills to pay, if you're failing at college, if it's stressful, if you can't balance social life and school, if you can't try to find the positive in things. You know, when you go through a hard time and you're like, wow, like, I'm at rock bottom, you know, this is so horrible, it always ends up getting better. It can't get worse, it always ends up getting better. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I should have been less stressful, I should have let go. I've learned from that. I've gone through so much already. It's made me into a better person. It's made me mature. It's just formed me into an incredible woman who I'm trying to be better every day. You know, I have tons of things to work on, and that's great because nobody's nobody's perfect. Everybody has growing to do. You know, I'm not saying that I'm you know, where I want to be. You know, no. I have tons of growing to do. I learn every day from my mistakes. So the next day, I learn from that mistake and I move on. You know what I mean? It's all about moving on. Life goes on. So yeah, this is my transformation story on the inside. Okay, who I became, who I am today. I love everybody, and I wish everybody got along. I wish that everybody should mind their own business and I'm in my own little world. My head is a very special, sacred place. I am in my head. It's just so beautiful in here. It's so peaceful in here, and I try to block out everybody's negativity. I try and block out all the bad things that are going on in the world. I try and just stay in my own mind, my own peace. And I focus on myself, and, you know, if something comes up, let them do them, you know. It's a wonderful happiness right here. Wonderful vibes that I like to give off, that I like to share, because it took me a while to get to this point, and I still have a lot of growing to do. But that was my transformation story on the inside. So, yeah. Okay. My body transformation. So, back to freshman year, I had a decent body. I guess, I sort of had a booty for a freshman, whatever. It wasn't as great as now, obviously, but I went through a stage in my life. I believe it was after junior year, around there. My best friend, one of my close friends, passed away, and I literally talked to him. I was the last person to ever talk to him, and I talked to him an hour before he died, and that's the first death that I had to go through by somebody that I've known, that I had a relationship with, that was a best friend of mine. He passed away, and it honestly completely changed how I think. It changed how I looked at life. It changed how, when I heard that somebody, died on the TV, or all these people died, I was like, wow, like, I truly feel for their family and their friends, and a life is so precious and so important. It's a beautiful thing, and it's just gone, and I truly, like, I would cry, I was so sensitive to death, because I went through it a really, really hard time. I was going through a hard breakup too, a really bad breakup. This dude, he was my future. I literally couldn't see myself without him. I felt like I lost a piece. I felt like I lost half of myself when I lost him. I felt like it was so random too. So, and I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself as much as I love myself today. I feel like going through stuff, the key is confidence, and the second key, or the first, you switch those around, is loving yourself, knowing who you are, knowing how much you're worth, knowing how much you could do without that person, knowing how much you could accomplish, being independent, growing and learning from the breakup, the loss, whatever you're going through. It's all about loving yourself. It all comes down to that, because if you loved yourself so much, like me today, I'd be like, they lost me. They lost something so great that I can't lose anybody. They lose me, and that's just how I am. And I didn't have that back then. I dropped friends. I isolated myself, stayed in my room. I was depressed. I wasn't eating. I lost 20 pounds in a month and a half. I actually went to the doctor because of how much weight that I was losing in a short amount of time. And mental health has 80%. Mental health is so important. It's not talked about. It's not really approved nowadays. It's something that needs to be said more, needs to be shared about more. And I lost so much weight, and I was skinny and just unhappy, depressed. And I sat around all day wishing, and just looking in the mirror and just complaining about my body. I just sat there and I complained, and I hated the way I looked, with all the weight that I lost, and I kept comparing myself to freshman year, like, oh, big booty, I kept looking at these girls on Instagram, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was inspired. I don't remember the day. Maybe if I talked to my best friend, then I would remember, but I was inspired by girls on Instagram, by fitness models on Instagram, by their transformation pictures, their transformations, how they used to look like, what they did. I got the main parts. I had so much motivation, so much drive. I said, I'm gonna do this. I can do this. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna do this for this amount of time, because if they can do it, so can I. And I literally set up a plan. The plan was kind of funky if I look at it now, because I wasn't really educated. I got my gym membership, a year membership, in November. I didn't start working out, I was on and off, busy, don't really remember. I started getting serious around January to February. January or February, one of those months, because the picture was in February of me, but I was working out in January. So probably January and February. And I literally I went to the gym in my leggings, skinny ass legs. You saw the pictures, and my form was completely off. And I remember I told my friend to take videos of me. So I worked out every day, got up every day. What I did was I did a full body every day for like a month and a half or something. Full body every day. Not recommended. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was like, why doesn't everybody do this, No. I took a video in March, or I believe it was March or April. I have my months mixed up. March or April. And the difference between the video in February to March blew my mind so much. I just skyrocketed into doing exactly what I needed to do. Eating. I ate every day. I remember making meals every day. 4 times a day. Pasta, chicken, shrimp, fish, steak, potatoes, veggies. Ate healthy. Didn't eat any sweets. I just busted my ass. I didn't restrict myself from food. That's how my diet is. I worked my ass off, literally. Worked it off. And when I saw results, I got addicted. And it wasn't even that too. The gym to me is it's a safe place. It's my safe haven. It's the place I go when I'm stressed or not feeling, or back then when I didn't feel worth it. When I had anxiety, I would go to the gym, and I would release all my stress into working out. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the gym. Not even with myself. I would look around and see all these people working out, and I'm like, wow, all these people are trying to better themselves. All these people are here, taking time out of their day, pushing themselves, working on themselves. It was just such a beautiful thing to me. The gym. Fell in love with the gym. Still in love with the gym. It's my passion. I found a passion. My whole life, I never had a passion for anything. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a neurologist for a while, then I wanted to be a vet for a while, then I wanted to be a makeup artist for a while. I didn't know. It wasn't a passion. This is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not a small goal. It's a lifestyle. And that's how you stay motivated. I will make a video on that as well. It's a lifestyle. It really is. That's how I looked at it back then. I said, you know what? I'm not going to work out for 2 months and then be done with it. My goal's done. No. I'm not just going to work out for a vacation and then no. This is a lifestyle, because after the 2 months, you'll be unmotivated again. Think of it as a lifestyle, a life change. So I did that, and I just started posting about it online, and people started recognizing me, and my transformation picture went crazy. That transformation picture, the one that has like a lot of the super flat ass picture, and it was like a 6 month transformation. That's real. 100% that's real. I'm not gonna fake something. But the angles and lighting is everything. The angles and lighting is everything. That picture, the second picture, my ass, like, angles and lighting. You know, you do that booty pose and like the lighting and you suck in your stomach. Yeah, I have a good body. But, you know, everybody on Instagram shows off like their best, you know, their best, when they look the best, their best, everything. And then that one picture of me, I have another picture that same day and my ass isn't that flat, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Basically, that's what I did. I just posted all my stuff and people started following me for it. So, that's just what I did. That's my transformation story from the inside to the outside, and the inside is way more important to me, because if I still felt the way I did, I probably wouldn't be going to the gym every day. I wouldn't have the motivation. I wouldn't have the drive. I wouldn't be as happy as I am today, you know? I wanted to move to Hawaii, because I still want to move to Hawaii, trust me. But I'm moving to Vegas because I want to own my own gym. I want my gym to be different from any other gyms. I want my gym to not just come in, scan your card, and leave. I want to have a relationship with everybody. I want to know everybody's story. I want to help people at the same time as educating them. And, you know, this gym being different from everything else. And I feel like Vegas is the perfect spot because, you know, a lot of people in Vegas are trying, you know, everybody feel like a lot of people trying to look good, a lot of people, you know, that come there. It's going to be different from everybody else's. And it's going to happen. You know, people said I couldn't move. It's happening. People said I couldn't do this. It's happening. People say all this. No. You block out everybody else's opinions and you do you. Like I said. I'm going to read some things that I wrote down in my notebook. Stuff that I know / learn and grow from. Always forgive. You want to be forgiven, so you should always forgive people too. Never get revenge. Always try to continue to improve as a person. So if somebody does something to you, what's the point of getting revenge? What would that do? You know, I know, trust me, there's been times where, you know, I did get revenge and I got revenge, and it's just, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Just continue to be you and grow as a person. Now, don't be mean even to mean people. Wish them good because that's what they need. And that's one of my favorite things that I have followed since freshman year. People were mean to me, and there'd be times where I'd say something back. No. Not now, and only a couple times I did that. I was always nice to people. My dad always told me, all you have to do in life is be nice. It gets you far. It gets you so far. Just be a nice person. Take every situation, good or bad, as a learning experience to grow. You know, I talked about that a lot. Find the good in every situation. Know your self-worth. It's all about confidence. Learn to love your own company. You're all you have and all you will ever have. I'm a very, very independent person. I mean, I'm moving to Vegas alone. Like, driving all the way across the country with somebody, of course. And moving there alone, living there alone, like not knowing anybody, just dropping everything now and just starting a new life. You know? Learn to love your own company. I'm always happy because I don't seek anything from anyone, and I don't seek the approval for things that I do for me. Very, 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 very important. Literally, if you seek happiness from things or people, those things and people will end up disappearing. They'll end up leaving you, you know, a boyfriend or a friend or whatever things. You seek happiness in things. Find happiness within yourself first, because when those things are gone, you won't be so broken, you won't be so hurt. You have yourself, and it all leads back to loving yourself, finding, you know, confidence and self-worth. It all comes back to that. Be positive in every situation. Hating someone for their confidence and success, I don't see the concept of that. Why would you hate somebody for their confidence or their success? What's the point of that? It looks so fucking ugly. It looks so ugly. It looks like you have nothing else better to do. You are just so hurt. You are just so, like, mad at the world. Why do it? Be open-minded. I am so open-minded about anything. If I have my head set on something and somebody tells me something else, I'm like, you know, maybe that could be it. Because I'm open to learning. I'm open to growing. I'm open. I'm not just gonna, you know, stick on one thing and that's what it is. Hell no. If somebody comes up to me in the gym, oh, you know, can I correct you on your form a little bit? Of course. Definitely. Tell me. Teach me. You know, I'm not, you know, an expert. You know, I know some things, but I don't know even close to everything. Please tell me, give me tips. We can learn and grow. We could, you know, I'm open to everything. Anything is possible. Anything in the world is possible. And fitness gave me a sense of direction. It gave me a sense of mindfulness. It gave me a sense of happiness and just true enjoyment. It gave me a sense that anything is possible in the world. You could, if you put your mind to something, you could succeed anything in the world. The ones who don't give up are the ones who are successful. Really, that's what it is. The ones who don't give up are the ones that are successful. If you give up, you'll never know if you could have done it or not. But if you try your very hardest and you still don't do it, then, you know, at least you could say you tried. But if you give up, then you'll never know. It's all about the mind. If you put your mind to it, anything can happen. You are capable of so much. You know, all these, like, lead back to each other, and that's just, this is a really long video, but I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something about me and just who I am as a person and who I've grown to be, and, you know, my transformation story. Hopefully it gives you, you know, a little bit of motivation or inspiration, because I truly think, girl, if you really just don't use the excuse, oh, I don't have time, you know, I don't have time to go to the gym. 1 hour of your day. If you don't have time to cook, if you're in college, and if you work every day, meal prep. Go shopping Saturday, meal prep Sunday, and you have meals for the entire week. Healthy meals that you need. Come home after work, work out at home even if you can't make it to the gym. You know, it's not that expensive for a gym membership, $20-30 a month. It's not that hard. You could still do it. You don't need to be home 24/7 to be able to go to the gym and to work out and to better yourself. You have time. Don't use excuses. There's no excuses. There's none. You have time to go. If you have time to chill, you know, and go on your phone, you have time to go to the gym. You don't need to work out for 3 hours. Work out for 45 minutes. I worked out the other day for a half hour or 45 minutes. You don't need 3 hours to work out. Literally just put in the work. Put in the work, kill your workouts every time, eat your food, get your sleep. Tell yourself in your minds that you can do it, you're gonna do it, you're gonna see the results. Even if it's small results, you're still gonna do it. Don't make it a small goal, make it a life goal. Make it a lifestyle, and you will see results. You will be happy, you will learn to love your body, and that's why I'm here today, because I got to learn it, I learned it, I went through it, I now love myself. I see my old photos, wish I took more, but I see those pictures and I'm my own inspiration now. Now everybody telling me that I'm their inspiration, that inspires me, and it's just a whole circle of love, and I just love it, and it just makes me want to cry. And you can do it. You will be your own inspiration, and that's what I tell a lot of my clients. That's what I tell girls. Just stick to it. You know, the ones who give up are the ones who aren't successful. The ones who stick to it and stay focused and do it, then they're the ones that will succeed. Alright, so this video is already pretty long, so I'm just gonna end it right here. I don't know why this is red right here, because I scratched it, but yeah, I hope you learned something by this. I have a lot more to say, but I don't want to make this video too long. But thank you for everyone who's supporting me and you know, who bought my programs. I honestly wish I had my programs when I first started, because they're difficult, they're challenging, but you need a challenge, okay? You can't not challenge yourself. You need a challenge. You need structure, you know. I learned from my failures, so now don't waste your time and check out my programs. I'm serious. When I first wanted to make my programs, I wanted to just give them out for free, and everyone was telling me, no, like, you need to sell them, like, you need to make something off of this, because of how hard that I worked on it every day, didn't get sleep. I felt and looked like a zombie every day when I was working on them. Yeah, so just check them out. They're worth it. I'm still waiting on more results. A lot of the feedback from the guides are great, and you'll love it too. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sticking with it through the entire thing, and just follow my social medias to keep up. I usually post all my meals on Snapchat every day. You know, just, it's a lot of like happiness and positivity. That's what I try and give. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.